let me ask you a question. Who really owns your digital identity? You know, from your social media profiles to your bank account, it kind of feels like we're just borrowing pieces of ourselves from these giant corporations. But what if we could flip that script? So today we're going to dig into this idea called ENTIFY, which is basically a proposed operating system for your identity that puts you back in the driver's seat. Let's break down how this whole thing is supposed to work.
All right, so let's start with the core problem we're all facing. Right now, our digital lives are kind of scattered all over the place, and honestly, they're controlled by other people. I mean, think about it. Every time you sign up for a new service, you're handing over another little piece of your identity. It creates this huge power imbalance where your personal information basically becomes a product for them to use.
And this slide just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Who truly owns your identity? Is it the government that issues your ID? Is it the tech company that hosts all your photos? Or the bank that sees every dollar you spend? In pretty much every case, the answer isn't a simple, I do.
Yeah, this visual nails the current system perfectly. On one side, you've got these massive institutions, governments, big tech, banks. And what are they up to? Well, they're pushing for mandatory digital IDs, they're harvesting our private data like crazy, and they're tightening the screws on financial surveillance. So in this setup, our identity isn't really ours at all. It's just a resource for them to manage.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the proposed solution? This is where ENTIFY comes in. And the most important thing to get here is that this isn't just another app you download. The whole idea is to build an entirely new foundation, a completely new starting point for our digital lives.
So what is ENTIFY, really? Well, at its core, it's an identity that you own and you issue to yourself. The really big ideas here are that it's lawfully recognized and, this is crucial, it's secured inside a private cryptographic vault. Just think of that vault like a super secure digital safe that lives on your device, and you have the only key. And you can really feel the ambition in these words, right? This isn't just about a bit more privacy. It's about fundamentally changing our online existence, flipping it from one where we're always vulnerable to one where we are finally in control.
So how does this all come together in practice? Well, it's built on these 5 key pillars. First, you literally author your own identity affidavit. It's your official declaration of who you are. Second, all your legal documents, for those know your customer checks, are stored privately by you, not handed over to some random company. You also get a verified human profile, a unique digital signature that only you can use, and a secure channel to manage your money, assets, and private communications.
And when you combine all 5 of those pillars, the end result is a complete, fully valid identity, where you and only you are the authority. It's a huge shift. The ownership of your identity gets passed from those big institutions right back to you, the individual. You're the one issuing it now.
Okay, but how is all this incredibly sensitive information kept safe? The tech behind it all is centered on this idea of a private vault. You really can think of it as your own personal digital fortress, built to protect your entire sovereign identity. And just look at what's stored inside this vault. We are not just talking about a digital driver's license. No way. We're talking about your official affidavit, your private legal documents, your biometric data, all your secret keys, access to your finances, even your private conversations. The goal is for this to be the one, single, secure hub for your entire digital life. Now, this is a really, really important security detail. All of this information is heavily encrypted and it's tied directly to your personal device, like your phone. It is not sitting on some company's cloud server somewhere, which, as we all know, is a massive, juicy target for hackers. It stays with you. Period.
And this right here is the core privacy promise. It's a system designed so that absolutely no one can see what's inside your vault. Not even the people who created ENTIFY. It is a true digital black box, and you hold the one and only key.
This leads to a fascinating way of operating online. By default, you're essentially invisible. But when you need to prove something about yourself, let's say prove you're over 21 to access a website, you can choose to reveal just that single piece of verified info. Without handing over your name, your address, or anything else, you prove what's necessary and nothing more.
So the whole process to create this sovereign identity is broken down into 4 pretty clear steps. First, you declare it by authoring your own lawful affidavit. Second, you verify it through a private process. Third, you protect it by sealing it all up in that cryptographic vault. And finally, you own it. You become the sole authority over your own identity.
But this idea is actually way bigger than just protecting yourself. The larger vision is to create an entire network of these sovereign individuals.
And when everyone participating is verified, you can build a totally new kind of digital space that's actually based on real trust, what they call a human-only ecosystem.
So what does human-only actually mean? It's pretty simple. Every single person on the network has gone through the process of creating a verified identity. This means that anytime you interact with someone, you have a cryptographic guarantee that you're dealing with a real human being.
And the implications of that are just huge. I mean, imagine a social network with zero bots, an online marketplace with no impersonators or scammers, a digital world with no identity theft, no fake accounts. That's the promise of a network where every single user is a verified human.
And this brings us to a really cool paradox. You can have interactions that are both anonymous and high trust at the same time. You don't need to know someone's name or see their face to trust that they're a real person, because the system has already cryptographically verified their humanity. And all of this happens with zero central surveillance.
So for this last part, let's just zoom out and look at the philosophy behind all of this. Because ENTIFY is presented as more than just a clever piece of tech. It's really a statement about what it means to have an identity here in the 21st century.
The key idea here is that this isn't about escaping from the world or hiding. It's about finding liberation through accountability. When you are the true owner of your identity, you also take full responsibility for your actions and for how you present yourself to the world. This slide is just a perfect summary of what your identity becomes in this model. It's lawful because you're the one who declares it. It's legal because your private documents verify it. It's anonymous because you and only you control access. It's trusted because the math proves your humanity. And it's protected, using established legal principles to shield you. And this might be the most powerful idea in this whole concept. It's a fundamental shift from being a user inside someone else's system to becoming your own system. Instead of just playing by their rules, you get to interact with the world on your own terms, from your own secure, sovereign foundation.
This tagline really sums up the entire ethos, doesn't it? The idea is that this isn't some mandatory system being forced on everybody. It's a tool. It's a choice. It's for people who want to step up and take full ownership of their identity with all the freedom and all the responsibility that comes with it. So, as we wrap this up, the ultimate question really isn't about the technology itself. It's about us. We live in a world that is constantly asking us, begging us to hand over control of who we are in exchange for a little convenience. So the real question this idea leaves us with is, are you ready to pick up the pen and be the author of your own story?